All right, welcome back. So there are a few questions on. I see that everybody's trying to use their APIs, and there are quite a few questions on how to go about using it. So I'd like to discuss that today. Now, in a previous post, I believe I explained the several options that were available and their level of complexity. So the easiest types of APIs that are out there are the ones that support CORS, okay, which is cross-origin resource sharing. I think that's what it means, and it basically allows a browser, right, that has downloaded a script from your server. So this is your Node.js server. So you downloaded the script that is hosted at your server. You download it, and now it's hosted on the browser. And then this browser has JavaScript that uses $HTTP or some client-side API to talk to yet another domain. Okay, whether it's Yelp or Google or whatever third-party domain. Typically, this would not be allowed. Okay, the browser would stop this communication with enforcing a security policy that you cannot do cross-domain scripting. Right? And you might have ran into this. It'll say you'll get an XML exception saying that origin not accepting communication, yada yada. Okay, now CORS and that has been around from when JavaScript first came out. That security policy. More recently, just a couple of years ago, well, almost a decade, there was a new standard that came out that new servers are supporting. When you send a request like that, right, the browser will first go out to the server and says, "Hey, server, do you support CORS? Or do you support this this mechanism of communication? Is it okay? This script that was downloaded from some other domain." Is it okay that it communicates with you? And the server says yes, I accept communication from anywhere. Then the browser will say, okay, fine, I'll let you go and do the communication. Right? But the servers need to support that feature, right? And not all servers support that. Right? Only the more modern servers that have been configured to support CORS support that. So this is the easiest way to go. Most Google APIs support it. I believe Yelp supports it. Facebook supports it. A lot of the newer libraries, services support it. Okay. If it does not support this, it might also support yet another technique called jsonp. And we took a look at jsonp the other day. Flickr supports jsonp. Right? And the way it does it is through a hack, an accepted hack, an industry accepted hack. That what it does is that when your script gets downloaded, and when it tries to communicate, what it does is that it dynamically generates a script tag. Dynamically generates a script tag into the DOM. Remember, from JavaScript, you can generate any element, right? You can generate dynamically, you can generate ULs, LIs, H1s. You can generate anything, right? Well, you can also generate dynamically a script, right? That points to wherever you want it to point, right? And when you type in the JavaScript in here, the browser is going to interpret this as a script node, all right? And all script nodes are interpreted as I'm going to start downloading that file. Right, as a script file, not as a data file, as a script file, which could be anywhere. Right? The domain where this particular script could be anywhere in the world, right? And the browser is not going to stop you. So if you're trying to download a script from some other XYZ domain, the server won't stop you. It'll start downloading the file, right? It thinks it's a file, right? Because it's in a script tag. Right, and the server needs to play along this hack. The server will start downloading not a file. It's not a real file. what it will do is that it will take your arguments, right? It will execute, run some code, some logic, and then it'll compute a resulting JSON data, right? That's what you want. You want the data, but you couldn't ask for the data directly like we did over here, right? Instead, we're asking it as a file. Okay. So what it does is that it starts downloading it. Now a bracketed JSON object is not a valid JavaScript file. It's not a valid JavaScript file. So what it does to convert it into a valid JavaScript file, it adds a function name, right? Foo. And then it appends the name of a function, then the data that you really wanted, right? And then it appends a parenthesis at the end. This is a valid JavaScript file. It gets downloaded. When it hits your browser, it executes. The browser interprets that file. It executes it immediately, and it's expecting that you locally here have a foo function, right? Which, because you're executing this function, it calls your function locally here, and it passes you the data, and now you have the data. Yes? And that only works, again, if the server and the client agree on this scheme. Okay? And it's called the jsonp protocol. Right? So that's the second in complexity. Right? They both allow you to simply make calls directly from the browser and invoke domains that are not your own. All right? Those are the simplest one is a straight JSON call from an API that supports CORS. If it doesn't support CORS, check to see if it supports jsonp. If it doesn't support either one, then you cannot, if it doesn't support either one of those, right, you cannot send queries from the browser. Right? You're going to have to communicate with these domains, right, from the server. You won't be able to do it from the browser. Right? If it doesn't support either of those, you're going to have to write here a little proxy, right? A proxy that your queries don't go out to these domains. Instead, your queries go to your own server, which nobody's going to stop you, right? The browser's not going to stop you because it's from the same domain that you downloaded from. But the server, since the server is not bound by the security measures of the browser, the server is free to call anyone they want, right? They can call any domain they want. So they could certainly make a connection directly to any domain out here, right? Through HTTP. You'll send an HTTP call. It'll parse your query, right? Or whatever parameters you pass to your local proxy, right? It'll build an HTTP request, send it over to the other domain. The domain will respond to your server side, right? Node.js, and then you'll send it back to the browser. Make sense? All right. Okay. So that's the proxy. That's a proxy solution. Right. So jsonp, we took a look at it. That was the Flickr. The Flickr example, we took a look. Did we? I think we did, right? Didn't we? I gave you some code that does that. Right, so let's play around with doing it this way and doing it this other way, the proxy and the JSON CORS. All right. Does that? I think that's going to grab the most of the questions that have been flying around on Piazza. And anything else that you wanted to take a look at? All right, let's play around with those things.